Welcome, dear listeners, to tonight's bone-chilling tale. What you're about to hear is a spine-tingling narrative. Brace yourselves as we delve into the dark and eerie world where innocence turns into malevolence, and where the line between fiction and reality blurs. Are you ready to confront the terror that lurks in the shadows? Then without further ado, let us begin our journey into the chilling story. Nikki, Frio. Like and subscribe. Hi everyone, welcome back to my channel. I'm Nikki Frio, and we are back for another interactive horror story. So get some popcorn and buckle up. That last story kept me up at night. There's just something so creepy about dolls, and I've heard that they can have entities attached to them. But I was thinking about how, if only the mother would have been more kind to her daughter, she may not have suffered such an awful fate. So here we are on Steam, Interactive Horror Stories, Episode 2. Today we are going to play After the Funeral. After Funeral is a modern gothic horror story that takes place 3 days after your son's burial. Oh, how sad. You receive messages in your computer. Those claim to be sent by your son's soul. He says that he wants to be with you once again, and he asks you to do a few things in order to be resurrected. Will you believe in the messages? If I was a mother mourning the death of her son, of course I would want to see the messages. Let's get into the chilling story. You used to be a father. It has been 3 days since your son, Jonathan White, was buried in the graveyard of the local church. He was 8 years old. He had golden hair and blue eyes. Your wife passed away, giving birth to Jonathan, and ever since he has been your everything. He was your angel. Now he's gone. He died on a snowy winter morning. You had gone to market, leaving him alone at home. When you arrived at home, you found Jonathan lying on the bed, motionless. His face was covered with his pillow, choked. Police couldn't find any trace of trespassing. You clearly remember the solemn moments of Jonathan's funeral. In fact, you try to forget, but the details are in front of your eyes and they won't go away. The priest had intoned psalms and prayers, those you're not so familiar with. You're not so religious. While the lifeless body of your son laid in the church, his feet were turned to the east. He was wearing black suit and shiny shoes. His skin was pale. He was way too young for all this. You wished it was you lying there instead of him. Like the day Jonathan died, it's a snowy day in all of Ohio. There are 3 inches of snow outside. It's 2 p.m. now. You are a writer who's been on writer's block since that day. Your favorite word processor is open in the computer. The screen is blank. You haven't written anything for a long time. There are cigarette butts in the ashtray and your black hot coffee in a blue cup on your work table. You chain smoke and consume a lot of coffee nowadays. As you're sipping your coffee, the doorbell rings. You open the door. It's Bob, your neighbor and friend. You had drunk beers and had barbecue with him for several times. Bob's a nice guy. He's overweight, has short black hair, and has no facial hair. He wears a dark blue jacket and a black beanie. Hey, how are you? I wanted to ask how you've been. I'm still depressed. Bob replies, I can imagine how hard it is. I never had kids, but I had a cat when I was younger. I loved her as my daughter. Then I had to bury her in the garden by myself. It was tough. I know how much you love Jonathan. I'm shocked, like you, to see him gone. Bob continues, I'm going to the market right now. Do you need anything? You remember that you're out of cigarettes. Yeah, I need cigarettes. You need cigarettes? He puts his hand in his pockets and pulls out a pack of cigarettes. Maybe I'm a bad friend for doing this, but anyway, take this. I'll buy myself another pack at the market. You take the pack that has 10 cigarettes inside and thank him. Okay, man, see you later. You say goodbye to Bob too, then he goes. You close the door and sit back on your work table. You look at the computer screen that should have been blank, but no. It's not blank. Something is written. Daddy, I miss you. Jonathan, you shout. After you shout your deceased son's name, new letters appear and form a reply. Yes, it is me. You're not a computer engineer, but you know that it's possible to hack someone's computer and put a prank on him. If the computer is online, your computer is connected to the internet with an Ethernet cable. You crouch down and frantically pull the Ethernet cable from your computer. You expect that nothing else will be written, but no, you are wrong. I am in the computer. How is that possible, Jonathan? Good Lord said that I should be together with you. He said that I love you, and you love me, so he sent me back. Oh, I'm so afraid, Daddy. It's cold and dark, and I'm so cold here. Please bring me back. Do you want to see me once again? Yes, of course I do. Find 5 candles and wait for midnight. Bye for now, Daddy. 5 candles? You've got only 1 candle at home. You normally use the candle when the electricity is gone, so you didn't need more than 1 candle before. What will you do? I'll buy them from the market, or I could ask Bob. Let's ask Bob for candles. You wear your long beige coat and black leather boots. You walk to Bob's house and ring the bell. After 10 seconds, Bob opens the door. Hey, what's up? I need 4 candles. Sure, I have plenty of them. What do you need them for? I'd rather not tell. Very well, let me bring the candles. He goes to the kitchen, then he returns with 4 candles in his hands. Here you go. You thank him and take the candles and return home. At home, you wait in front of your monitor. Nothing happens till midnight. Then a new message appears on the screen. I am back, Daddy. Did you bring the candles? Yes. Good. Let me explain how you can bring me back. Okay. We shall speak again once you bring my coffin. Coffin? You know it's insane, but you get prepared to get outside. You wear your coat and you go outside your home. It's snowing like hell, a cold interpretation of hell. The sky has a bright purple color, illuminating the night with the help of a full moon behind the clouds. You get in your car and start it. The streets and roads are empty. There's only you outside in this hour of night. It doesn't take long to arrive to the church and its graveyard. The graveyard is covered with snow and gray mist. No lights come from the church. Either there's nobody inside or the priest is sleeping. That's good. You can't be seen while you're digging your son's grave. You find the graves of your son and wife. Jonathan White was buried next to his mother. There is an unoccupied area next to them. You will be buried there when your time comes. You search for a shovel. You find it in 10 minutes. You're ready to dig the grave. You start digging. After 6 feet of digging, you reach the little wooden coffin. You climb down, then carry the coffin up. After that, you climb up and carry the dirty coffin to your car's back seat. You had never done something this bizarre before. After you reach home, you get out of your car and carry the coffin home. Luckily, there's no one around. You drag the coffin to your living room center. You don't care about the floor getting dirty. Thank you, Daddy, gets written on the screen. Now put the candles around my coffin like a star. Okay, this is crazy. You carefully place the candles around the coffin, making it the center of a star. You light them with your lighter. Now read this aloud, Daddy. A lonely goat on a mountain. He is thirsty, thirsty for humanly love and affection. I shall give him the water. You read the lines. A lonely goat on a mountain. He is thirsty, thirsty for humanly love and affection. I shall give him the water. And the coffin starts to shake. The coffin's lid gets opened slowly. You see Jonathan opening the lid and raising up. His skin is pale, almost white. You can smell the rot of his undead corpse. He's wearing that black suit you couldn't forget. He stands on his feet and smiles at you. Then he steps outside the coffin, away from you without saying anything. And he does something you wouldn't expect from the dead. He dances. He dances with joy. After half a minute, he stops dancing, stares at you. His eyes are still blue. Take me in your arms, Daddy. Take me to the bathroom. I want to show you something. It's impossible not to obey what he says. You feel his presence dominating the room, overwhelming you, and it's impossible to say no. You crouch down and take him in your arms. You carry him to the bathroom. You bring him to the dark bathroom. You turn on the light and get horrified by what you see in the mirror. The boy's reflection is different. His skin is burned like coal. Jonathan had an innocent and handsome face, but the face you see is so far from being pleasant. It's like a really old man's face, who's also very ugly, and he has no hair. I always wanted a daddy like you, says the eldritch abomination you hold in your arms. The end. Whoa, that was scary. Oh no, it just ended. Gosh, how awful. Well, I hope you're not too scared. If you like stories like this, be sure to like and follow for more. And please leave a comment if you have any suggestions of what you'd like to hear next. Next time, join me for the story, Crystal Skull in Interactive Horror Stories. Free on Steam. Don't worry, I'm sure you won't have nightmares tonight. Thank you so much for joining me on my channel today. Good night. Nikki Frio.